I think that respondents should reflect to what was said during the presentation, during the lecture by presented right now, and I give the floor to Uwe David from Deutsche Forschungsgemeinschaft, that is German Research Foundation, to reflect to what was said, and he is also now Program Director for International Cooperation and Collaborative Research Centers in Germany.
So first of all, thank you, Eugenius, for this nice and kind introduction. I hope I'm acting as you like as respondent to Alessandro's presentation. I'll give my best anyway. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and first of all, let me thank the organizers for inviting me to speak at this conference. I will talk about the Marie Skłodowska-Curie actions from three perspectives. First of all, as former Deputy Director of COVI, the European Liaison Office of the German Research Organizations, then as evaluator for Marie Curie Co-Fund in FP7, and as Program Director of the DFG. And I'll try to do this within 10 minutes. And I hope you recognize the challenge that is ahead of me. But I'll give my best. So let me briefly introduce the DFG, the German Research Foundation. The DFG is the main funding organization for basic research in Germany. We serve all branches of science and the humanities. We foster scientific excellence through competition, and we support international cooperation in research. Our yearly budget is roughly 2 billion euro, and the distribution on the scientific domains you can see on the right-hand side. It's a bit tiny, but anyway, maybe you can see it. So, as I have only 10 minutes, I skip to the next slide, and as you can see, I've divided the presentation into 3 chapters. So, first of all, let me start with some general remarks on Marie Curie. I think we can all agree that mobility is a key feature of researcher careers today. The Marie Curie actions are very prestigious and renowned for supporting the mobility of researchers. This is what we learned at COVI, where I spent 8.5 years in my working life. And we also saw that the award of a Marie Curie individual fellowship is an important sign for individual excellence early in the career. The initial training networks that Alessandra mentioned some minutes ago have contributed significantly to the internationalization of doctoral training in Europe. And the industry-academia partnerships that were initiated in, I think, FP5 in a form, but then stronger implemented in FP6 and FP7 have facilitated collaborations between both sectors, so industry and academia. And what we see or what we think is that the Co-Fund program has proven to be successful. This is the program that was introduced into the framework program in FP7, so starting in 2007. So now let me share some experiences with Co-Fund with you that I've had when I was evaluating proposals in Brussels. I start with something that I called Marie Curie Co-Fund, the German approach. I'm not saying that there is only one and a consolidated German approach, but here you can see a statistical overview of German Co-Fund programs and the numbers of proposals and the numbers of funded projects. As you can see, Co-Fund had a rather difficult start in Germany. There was one proposal in the year 2007, which was funded, luckily, and no proposal in 2008, but after this, Co-Fund picked up speed, and as you can see, there were between 4 and 5 proposals every year from 2010 to 2012. And I think I can say at present that German institutions really like, or really seem to like Marie Curie Co-Fund. I've brought you some examples. I'm not going into details. If you want to have details, just contact me later on or in the evening or tomorrow morning. Some examples of funded programs are from the Alexander von Humboldt Foundation, the BRIGHT program or the Hermes program, then a program by the Gerda Henkel Foundation, which I think is very interesting because it's an incoming fellowship program in the historical humanities and including Islamic studies. And we've also had some universities which were applying successfully for incoming fellowship programs, like the Free University Berlin, the Johann Wolfgang Goethe University Frankfurt, and the University of Bremen. So all these are incoming fellowship programs for postdocs, postdoctoral students, or postdocs, yeah. So my experiences as evaluator for CoFund, some general points first. We've seen in the evaluations many very interesting programs. We've seen some very good examples for the internationalization of regional or national programs. And what I found quite interesting is that proposals came from a large number of countries. So Italy, Spain, I mean, this was quite clear. Then Ireland, Switzerland as associated country, but also from Estonia, from Hungary, from Poland, from Turkey. And you could see the little dots on the map that Alessandra has shown some minutes ago. The proposals originated from different types of organizations, so from research councils, from ministries or regional ministries, from international organizations, university, etc. And also the sizes of the programs were varying a lot, so between 200,000 euro until 10 million euro. And there were one-type mobility programs like only incoming fellowships or outgoing fellowships, and also the all-in programs where all types of mobility were covered. And there were broad programs covering all disciplines, and also thematic programs with just slices of or just parts of research areas which were addressed, like biomedicine or kidney physiology. Some important points to remember when we are talking about CoFund is CoFund is about the mobility of researchers, and what we've always looked at in very detail is are the mobility rules clearly defined and certainly in line with the CoFund rules. This was, I would say, one of the most important points. Then the program must be open to researchers with other nationalities. So you cannot say we are trying to make an outgoing mobility fellowship program, but we only want to send out our nationals, and we don't want to send out nationals from other countries. So only fellowship programs are eligible in CoFund, not employment programs. So if you're trying to recruit people for certain jobs, this is not possible. This is not allowed in the program. You have to offer as much freedom of choice as you can do concerning the selection of the country, the host institution, or the research topic. Naturally, you will limit this freedom of choice, but it's your decision how much you limit it. The selection process has to be realistic and should be integrated convincingly into the time frame and overall structure of the program, and certainly the criteria for the selection of fellows have to be clear and adequate to choose the best applicants. And another very important point when talking about CoFund is the sustainability of a program. So what happens after the EU money stops flowing into your bank account? So now I'm approaching my 10-minute mark, I guess, so let me have two last slides on Marie Skłodowska-Curie actions in Horizon 2020, a view ahead. So when looking at the decisions that have been taken or are due to be taken in a short while, one can say that the final budget for Marie Curie seems appropriate to achieve the program objectives. Though maybe at the lower ceiling level, one has to say, it is very important that the bottom-up approach has been maintained for Horizon 2020. I think that's a good, the new program offers a good mixture between continuity from FP7, like the mobility rules, the definition of early stage researchers and early experienced researchers, and also some change. What is, I think, very important is that the broader definition of industry involvement that Alessandra has mentioned some minutes ago is crucial for some areas, some research areas, especially the social sciences and humanities. And the simplification measures that Alessandra pointed out are, in my view, pointing into the right direction. Well, let me finish with, as the session is about new funding opportunities and especially CoFund, with some points on the future development of CoFund. We at the DFG think that CoFund has the potential of achieving additional synergies for a common research area in Europe by pooling resources and establishing cross-border standards. The CoFund mechanism has already proven its effectiveness, as shown in the CoFund study in February 2012, and we really supported that CoFund in Horizon 2020 enables the co-financing of internationally oriented graduate programs. And we see it as very important that the European Commission enables and member states enable synergies between co-fund and EU structural funds, also in order to leverage the financial resources for the support of researchers at an early stage of their career. And with this, hoping that I've stayed in my 10 minutes time, I would like to close my talk, and thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you for your presentation on